Greetings, fellow adventurers. It is I, the OGGM. What? No, ignore that mimic in the outhouse. It's Wednesday. It's about 10:30. It's 65 degrees and hazy here at Site B. It's the 25th day of the month of May. Several hundred years ago, Star Wars came out today. So if you were one of the lucky few who were there in that line in 1977, wow, I still vaguely remember movie theater, Century City, standing there with my dad and my brother. I'd seen the ads. I was so excited, and oh my God, like everybody else, it changed my life. So happy birthday, Star Wars. In other news, it's time to take a look at all the tabletop role-playing game crowdfunding projects that are coming to an end this week. If any of these sound like something you want to get behind, it's not too late. You can still support them. Just head on down to your friendly local game store. That's Dreamworld Collectibles for now here in Ventura, California, and ask them to look into it for you. Obviously, at the top of the list is the Blade Runner tabletop role-playing game from Free League. It is in the last hours of its Kickstarter. Yes, I kickstarted it. I gave them money. It's one of my all-time favorite movies from a company whose stuff I love. It's the most anticipated role-playing game of 2022. Suck it, Wizards of the Coast. So yes, I supported that. Moving on, we have from Dream Realm Storytellers for 5e, we have Bloodpunk, a Victorian setting and dark adventure for... Nope. You know my feelings about people who use our word. There's no fucking thing called Bloodpunk. Stop it. From Ghostfire Gaming, we have Aurora Age of Desolation. It's a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition sourcebook. The most popular pledge is $55, and it provides a new environment and exploration rules for 5e, including things like charts and tables and dinosaurs and other stuff that we've already seen. So if you're looking for a different take on 5e, check out Aurora Age of Desolation. From Evil Genius Game, we have Everyday Heroes, the role-playing game. This is for $50 is the most popular pledge. This is the spiritual successor to D20 Modern, using the 5e rules. No, it is not a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition sourcebook. I mean, there's nothing saying you can't use the stuff from this game in your 5e game, but no, it is not a 5th edition sourcebook. It is using the 5th edition engine. There are two different things. $50 is the most popular pledge. Of course, the big worlds is that these are the guys who managed to get the IPs for Kong and Pacific Rim, Highlander, The Crow, Total Recall, Rambo, Escape from New York, and Universal Soldiers. So if you're always looking for a way to run campaigns in those types of settings, like a Kong Pacific Rim game just makes total sense to me. So yeah, congratulations on these guys. I wanted to back this one, but unfortunately I ran into some financial difficulties this month because I had to go get blood work and an MRI and pay a bill. So that was $50 I just couldn't have. From Goodman Games, we have the original Adventures Reincarnated number 7, Dark Tower. This is for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition and Dungeon Crawl Classics. It's $100 is the most popular pledge. This expands upon the AD&D 1979 adventure Dark Tower. Yes, I know that sounds very familiar because there was also a comic called Dork Tower, and there's a very early video game called Dark Tower, but this was an AD&D setting. It might not sound familiar to a lot of people who played AD&D back then because, back in the 70s, it was very hard to find anything. But yes, it's been out for a long time. It is considered by many to be one of the best adventures ever made for AD&D. It was, of course, created by the infamous Janelle Jacques, who, is the just creator of the idea of mega dungeons and multiple levels, and just we could go on and on about the stuff this is an individual has spearheaded. So if you're looking for a mega adventure setting, and $100 the most popular pledge, Dungeon Crawl Classics and 5e, and probably also the original rules for when it was AD&D are hidden in there as well, because that's usually what Goodman Games does. Yeah, definitely this is one I would say get behind. We have from Cawood Publishing for Dungeons & Dragons 5th editions, Monsters of Feyland for 5th edition. This is more pixies and fairies and Lewis Carroll inspired nonsense. If you're looking to continue the stuff that was begun in Witchlight and want to expand upon the idea of the Feywild and twisted fairies and stuff like that, this is $45 as the most popular pledge. It's 140 pages of new monsters. From 2LM Press, we have Household. This is for the Fortune system. I've never heard of it. $150 is the most popular pledge. In this game, you play Littles, fairies, boggarts, stuff like that. Think of the Littles or, the Borrowers. If you've ever wanted a game where you play a bunch of teeny people running around in somebody else's hearts and having adventures. Apparently this won role-playing game of the year in 2019 in Italy. Uses a custom 6-sided dice system. It's $150 for the Fortune system and a setting about pixies. So if you're a fan of the Borrowers or the Littles or any of those types of things, Mouse Guard, $150 seems a little much, but okay. From Rogue Genius Games for 5e, we have Reigns of Discordia. This is a $45 core rulebook for, this was a true 20 setting, but now it's returning, which basically is a 100 space game based upon Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, Starflyers, that kind of thing. The galactic empire has fallen. The dark times have gripped the universe, and now here's your chance to go out there and earn fame and fortune. $45 is the most popular pledge. If you're looking for a 5e take on sci-fi, whatever. From Post World Games, we have a good book of bad GM and the good book of bad GM inspirations. This is $19 for the book. It's a book of GM advice, tables, stuff like that, random tables, adventure hooks, stuff like that. Basically advice to D&D's players. We have a gaming convention that is looking for some support. CharCon, the West Virginia Gaming Convention, is looking for support. $40 is the most popular pledge. So if you live in West Virginia and want to see a gaming convention be sponsored in your area of the world, send these guys $40. You'll get a weekend admission and the dice, and you'll help them actually be able to locate the place and host it for the 3 days or whatever. There was one more. I thought. Sickness and Health is being kickstarted right now. This is a book on diseases in your 5e game. So if you want to spice up your 5e game with some, poxes and plagues and stuff like that, here you go. Also, this doesn't technically count as a Kickstarter. This is a quick start. There's the quick start for the official Batman RPG Gotham City Chronicles is available for free up on Drive-Thru and up on the Kickstarter page for this project. So if you're interested in seeing what they have planned for the latest iteration of the Batman role-playing game / DCU role-playing game, check it out. I have heard one response to it, and it wasn't very positive, but, make up your own mind. It's free. You can't go wrong with free. So that's it for all the tabletop role-playing game crowdfunding projects. I'm sorry if I was a little more harsh than I usually am. I just got back from the doctor, and I had to fast and get blood work and an MRI, and that always messes with my brain. If any of those projects sound like something you want to support, head on down to your friendly local game store and ask them to look into it, except for the one called Bloodpunk. No. Stop it. Stop using that word. Anyways, I've been the OGGM and not a mimic pretending to be a toilet, asking you all to have a great day and get off my island, you damn kids!